One of the neatest things about being in Japan is not paying an arm and a leg to get Sega stuff. That's right. No more paying $100 for a Saturn unless you don't look at other places like I did and end up spending way more than you should have. It's easy to get Saturn stuff, so of course I want to go out and get as much as I can. But I'm a sucker for playing the same games that I have 1,000 times. And of course I went out and I got Sonic Jam. No, of course, I'm not talking about 2-on-2 high stakes NBA action. I'm talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and his original 4 games, although we are missing one in particular. And it's really nifty. This game was pretty cheap and easy to come by over here. I think in the States it might be, in fact, I know in the States it's more expensive. But of course, if you have a Game Shark or Action Replay, I believe, you can import this and play it just fine. The menus are in English, no problems. So I mentioned this on Instagram before, but space in Japan is a premium. So for a retro game collector like me, it is a nightmare to get bookshelves and bookshelves and just tons of boxed games. For some people, it's not worth it. Even if they are cheap, you will find yourself buying so much stuff and then suddenly there's nowhere to put it. Having a collection like this is just amazing because even though it's not exactly the same as the originals, it's still an easy way to play the first 4 Sonic games. If you have a Saturn or if you're looking to start a Saturn collection, there's really no better place to start than with the Sega mascot himself. I guess I'll address this now, but I know Sonic Mega Collection is very popular and that's still by many considered to be like the best compilation of Sonic titles. I like it, I think it's great, but that being said, I always hated how you had to go in there and I think you had to unlock Sonic 3 Knuckles, you had to like play Sonic 3 50 times. So yeah, that's the thing about this Sonic Jam collection I like so much. It's simple, it's straightforward, you got all the games there. You got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, and you can lock on with all of them, right? So you get Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Knuckles and Sonic 2, and then you get Blue Sphere. Unfortunately, there is no Knuckles in Sonic 1. Another neat little feature is there's a save mode actually, so when you leave a game, in particular, this will be useful for Sonic 1 and 2, and Sonic and Knuckles I guess, it will allow you to go back and pick up where you left off, but you do need to have a battery in your Saturn because I don't have one in mine. I noticed the save game option was there. I think I had backed out of the menu and it said saved game. Of course, when I turned the Saturn off for a couple of minutes, turned it back on, everything was gone. Even my Sonic 3 save files were gone. So make sure your Saturn battery is replaced before you play this game. There are a bunch of neat little features you can access from the game menu itself. For example, there's a time attack that only gets unlocked once you beat the levels in the game, so you can't play them off the bat. They also have access to special stages too. And then on top of that, you can look at digital manuals. You can look at the Japanese release manual and you can look at the English manual. Specifically, it's the American. So besides the games, we also have our first access to Sonic in 3D. And it's nothing crazy, but it is a neat little tech demo. And you get to run around this small area. There's also a couple missions for you to do as well if that's your thing. But I think the real neat part of this is all of the bonuses in this area. So you can go and watch the opening for Sonic CD, you can watch the ending, there's a couple commercials as well. There's a couple other just small videos. There's also a place you can go and check out artwork. You could even check out character bios as well, which is pretty neat. Unfortunately, it's Japanese only, but maybe in the Western releases it might be in English. We also have a music selection too, so you can go and listen through each soundtrack of each game, listen to the sound effects. In particular, this collection is interesting, especially if you're even remotely familiar with what's going on with Sonic 3. I really liked watching these Japanese commercials because growing up in the United States, I just assumed Sonic was popular. I assumed he was the same as it was where I was from, and it's interesting to kind of watch and see how he was marketed. It's pretty much marketed the same way.
Come on!
So yeah, you can go through Sonic World and get a bunch of fun bonuses, but we're here for the games, right? Well, first and foremost, we got the original, the King, the first one, Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 1991 for the Sega Genesis, Sega Mega Drive. Now, this is a game that certainly holds up even today. It's been released to death. Yeah, there's the Android version that was done by Taxman and his crew. Of course, that version's amazing. I highly recommend it. It's just easier to play nowadays. But that said, this is a good way to play 4x3 with a Saturn controller. And it's the first time Sonic spin dashes in the original game. You could turn it off if you want, but it is a nice way to sort of shake the game up a little bit and try something new, although it does make it a little bit easier. This game was designed for rolling, but it definitely wasn't designed to be used with the spin dash. I love this game though. I played it a million times, but it's great. It's got that nice, fast-paced first level Green Hill. Then you move on to the more slow-paced Marble Zone, which is quite challenging in terms of platforming. Of course, you get even harder levels like Labyrinth Zone, which they wanted to put second, apparently. I don't know what they were thinking, because that level's tough. Of course, there's the added challenge of going and getting 6 Chaos Emeralds. It doesn't seem as bad because there's less, but those special stages are a real pain. Even though I played them a bunch, it's amazing how much I still mess them up. Sure, the final boss is a little bit easy, but all in all, real solid game. Sonic 1, can't go wrong. Then of course we got the Big Daddy sequel, maybe the most popular game in the series, I think, Sonic 2. And this was actually the first Sonic game I ever played. I have vivid memories of playing this in my older brother's room, dying repeatedly on Chemical Plant Act 2, because I couldn't figure out how to get above the... I don't actually know, it's not water though, that's for sure. So when I was a little bit younger, I was always kind of miffed that they got rid of the 3-act system in this game, but as I got older, I've come to appreciate it more. I think in general the game flows better with 2 acts. 3 is okay, 3 is nice, but yeah, after 2 you kind of just want to move on already. And they got more levels in this game, so you can't go wrong with that. They added Tails too, he's one of my favorite characters. I like him, and I'm still upset what they've done to him now. So it's a great game, Sonic 2, the classic, maybe the standard. It's wonderful. Released 2 years after Sonic 2, Sonic 3 came out, and boy oh boy, now we have cutscenes in between levels, sub-bosses, bigger and better Sonic. It's very nice. And now we got Knuckles. Now this game's also great, of course. I love the special stages, blue spheres. I used to play this religiously as a kid on the computer. Shout out to the Sonic and Knuckles collection. Even though this isn't my favorite Sonic game, it is the one I kind of have the most nostalgia for. Between this and Sonic and Knuckles, I played these all the time. Speaking of, we got Sonic and Knuckles next, and yes, the second half of Sonic 3. Most people will just lock this on and play Sonic 3 and Knuckles all the way through. Me personally, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this maybe, if I ever get popular, I like Sonic and Knuckles better than Sonic 3. Whoa! I don't know what it is, I just think the levels kind of flow a little bit better. I think they're more fun. I'm not sure why. I think I just never liked Launch Base as much as I liked Death Egg. I liked playing as Knuckles. And I know you can combine them for a long game, and that's obviously better, but I think if we're just taking the two halves, I would pick Sonic and Knuckles, but of course they're both brilliant. So I know what you're thinking. Why should I get this? What is the point? There's so many Sonic collections. I mean, why should I do this? Okay, you're sort of right. Sonic 1 and 2 have been released and re-released and re-released and re-released dozens of times, sure. There's the versions on Switch, there's versions on mobile. They're different, but they're both great. M2 and Christian Whitehead both did a great job with those. There is that big missing piece. There's those big missing two pieces that we just talked about. Now, I think we all know why Sonic 3 is never getting released, or it isn't being re-released recently, and that is a shame. Even though we found that there is music for them to replace, I don't think that they're going to do that. I actually like the beta music a little bit better, but that's just me. This whole legal issue that nobody's talking about, it's tough. And we don't know if it'll ever get resolved. It's a real shame because this is one of the only ways to play Sonic 3 legally. I really like Sonic Jam because of everything that's on it. Yes, you might be able to go watch some of these clips on YouTube now, but for the time, this was something special. You have 4 amazing games, tons of bonuses, artwork, and a first look at what Sonic was going to become. It's sort of an insight into the next steps of his journey. Of course, Sonic Adventure came out a couple years after this game and changed the way Sonic was forever. So in a way, this is our last look at classic Sonic. Before he was brought back, of course. It's an interesting collection, I think it's underrated, and it's one I definitely recommend to you. It's anyone's guess as to when Sega's gonna re-release Sonic 3 again, so in the meantime we're stuck with games like Sonic Jam. But you know what? It's not a bad place to be.